Am I on? Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Do the timer. There we go. Now StreamYard is a little different. Things are moved around again, but anyway, I wanted to come on just briefly because I don't know, I had some thoughts. But first, I wanted to say is uh, I didn't sleep well. The phone rang. I get this landline. The landline's ringing sometime, I don't know, morning, and it just woke me up because it rings like 7 or 8 times, and it was some telemarketer or some bullshit. But I'm because I'm on the couch trying to get across the phone. It wasn't even about answering the phone. It woke me, and I've been in a funk all day. But I decided to stay up a little later. It's about 2 in the morning here, and I plan to try to readjust my pattern. When I get up, there's a lot to do. It's paperwork wise, scanning wise. Got to make calls. Got to figure out what happened to my car. Got to call various the insurance company. My life sort of is on hold in a way until I can go to that neuropsychologist and get my if I get clearance to start putting weight on the right foot, and then I can gauge how soon I'll be able to walk and move out of here, because it's like yeah, I am very lucky to have my brother, and this has come up the past few streams. No, I'm grateful for my brother. I'm very lucky to have him. And I can't keep bleeding him dry. But then, and of course, I'm useless to him in this state. So, that's been on my mind, and I've been looking at all this shit. And what can I do? He's saying, go through this paperwork. Let's scan what we need, shred. I said, okay. And of course, I got all my shit fucking paperwork. It becomes a nightmare. You get a bill from an ambulance, and I got to call them and say, here's my auto insurance, and the auto insurance doesn't answer. So it's one of these nightmares that happens when you get into an accident. But what was I saying? It's like, I think I haven't really gone in depth about, my situation, my stories. Good evening, Horsehead. Good evening. I haven't gone to depth, and I want to. It's partly my fault. I put it off. I was working. It's also very hard for, hold on. It's actually nice not having comments. I was kind of talking to myself, and I had said some of these YouTube videos, they remind me like when I was younger, I used to have a micro cassette tape player, and I would drive around and just, thoughts, ideas, sometimes I'd be driving, talking into it. And it's kind of like that in the way this is like almost like a just sort of sharing my ideas sometimes. But now you're throwing me off. Where was I? Okay, so it's overwhelming. What I haven't told all my stories yet. Like it's not just simple. Oh, the boss was mean. It's like shit that I never would have expected. Stuff that I could have. I always say a Kafka novel, but I spoke to my shrink again today. I'm going to see him again in a few days. And I'm not sure if I should share this session or maybe see how the other session goes and maybe put them together, because I said to him, if I were to share my stories with the world, people probably wouldn't believe me, which is one of the hardest things about it. You're telling the truth and you're accused of being, a phony. And that is kind of it. I'm not the type to talk about these things. The fact that I said, all right, let me go on YouTube. Let me say, fuck it. Let me be honest about who and what I am. And that was the hardest part after, the girl ran me over, or tried to run me over. The manager's trying to get rid of me. I'll tell you the whole story. It's very elaborate. There's twists and turns. It's just so bizarre, so fucked up. So like, how is this even humanly possible? And this isn't supposed to be a teaser. It's supposed to be me saying I'm kind of anxious to tell this story because it is traumatic and reliving the wound. But I told my shrink today, I said, these stories I tell you, because I went over the strangulation story again. I said, these stories, I don't know if you believe them or not. He goes, no, I do believe you because you've been consistent. I said, yeah. I said, people probably wouldn't believe him. And that was one of the hardest things. And I was looking up about, and I should show him this article because I typed in, crazy shit, no one believes me. And this article comes up, which I like, which I want to share. Yeah, that's what I've been saying for some time now. Kafka, it is, yeah. Well, and everyone talks about the metamorphosis. Bear with me. I am overtired. I didn't get the sleep I should, but it's good. I want to push myself to step another hour or two, try to sleep, get up, have more morning time. So bear with me if I slur some words. Plus, I've had a few beers, but I responded to the landlord, in case you're wondering. I responded politely. I said, as you know, my brother and I want to get out of here as soon as possible. We'll let you know. We will not commit to any date at this time. Because even if he wants to take legal action, it'll still take him 2 months from the time he sends his registered letter and then to go after us, it would be July or August by the time he comes after us. So I just said, I don't want to commit to any date. I'm not trying to take the bait with him, but it sort of pisses me off just that, all this could have been avoided. If the guy just been upfront with me from the get-go. So listen, man, like even my brother said, who the fuck comes for a visit in December? It was just so like, just fucking asshole. Anyway, where was I? No, he probably won't. He's not much help with that, but what was I going to say? I got to read the comments. Good to hear. OC on Ice, yes. That was actually my time. He was Oscar was saying, "Oh, musical of your life," and I said, "Yeah, call it OC on Ice." But no, it was the idea of like, it is with the mobbing, the mobbing when a group of people fall under the same influence, and you're the target of that. Even here in this microcosm known as the internet, there's that idea of, oh my god, I'm sharing these stories, which I can't believe I had to live with this shit. And it's hard for me to share them. And I'm getting accused of, but I was looking here. I'll see what he thinks. He probably won't change his mind, but I'll show my shrink this article. How do I do this? Fuck is it now? Share screen. That's why I say it's like the intensity, the over the top. And I think a lot of my behaviors to try to, no, it's not that bad. We're all, when it's really hatred that I'm experiencing from these people, just trying to, the pervasive and unfounded stereotypes held by the general public, as well as some supposed experts, label gays, aversion, fidgeting, or something, Oh, here it is. Unfortunately, according to this article, stereotypical liar behaviors are also typical autistic behaviors, and without training and education, most individuals make incorrect attributions. Moreover, their disbelief and denial of the autistic person's experienced reality will likely contribute to the gaslighting trauma often experienced by autistic individuals, which in turn is likely to make them even more nervous, and thus, to typical observers, deceptive looking. And that was when I tell the shrink, it wasn't just the crazy shit that happened; it was the response to the crazy shit that happened. That it just, and it is hard to talk about. And it is hard to be honest with, and to take that leap and talk about these things, and then be called a liar just because they didn't believe me. They dismissed it. This bitch tried to run me over, and the manager's I want to tell you the whole story from start to finish because there's other shit. So I'll lay it all out. It'll probably be mostly audio. Maybe I'll do some visual, but I should, and as of course we're less likely to receive empathy, etc. There was something else up here, but I do like that because it's like that not being believed coming across as deceptive when it's almost like we actually Spurgs can make very good targets because the hostile type knows no one's going to believe them, and we can get away with it. They have no allies, no social allies, which then just leads to the whole process of holy shit. Not only did I experience this craziness here, but no one seems to give a fuck. And with that is the whole idea of the cyclical reinforcing. It adds to the trauma. Less likely to be believed. Yep, ditto. That dead on. Affected. There was something here I liked. More likely performers, high performers. It was further, but yeah, particularly severe consequences for autistic individuals. Bullying of autistic people in the workplace is a problem that costs many their jobs and is likely contributing to the extremely high rates of unemployment among Spurgs. I propose that bullying of autistic people is also a problem made particularly persistent due to its cyclical nature. Now, I do agree with that. This is the lived experience. Strongly affected psychologically, physiologically. Sadly, employees are also less likely to be believed while seeking recourse. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. And less likely to receive empathy. Bingo. Dead on. I shouldn't say bingo, but dead on. This leads to further cycles. So this is interesting. Maybe I'll share this with him. He might not. I know even if he doesn't believe I'm a Spurg, at least this is because this sort of gets to the root of my experiences, which I wouldn't believe, and the way they keep happening, the cyclical nature, and even he finds them wild, but not crazy. He says, "Yes, your stories check out; they're sincere. I don't know how to explain it." But of course, he can't accept the potential of me, the possibility of me being autistic. And nor can, like, I'm seeing in the microcosm that is the internet, neither can half these morons. And I'm not talking about, like, trolls. I'm talking about, like, right, the whole the gang up, the mob up. You can criticize. I've never wanted an echo chamber, but I guess I had this idea in doing this. I guess I had this weird idea that I would get random people, not a social group, but random people. Hey, man, I feel you. I hear your story, man. I disagree with you. Here's where I think you're going wrong. Or, hey, I came across this one video. I'm also autistic. This, or my son is like. I thought I would get even, criticism's fine. I thought I would get more people sharing their individual experiences or observations, whether they agree with me or not. I guess that's what I expected. And this internet bullshit world is just like the real world, where you get these social groups, and there's like that collective Borg mentality. I was telling my shrink about how, it's like, I think it's me and one, but it's really me versus the whole Borg collective, and I'm outside that collective. And I guess these collectives exist in any social space. And that's what I was telling him. But it's funny because here I can actually see it in real time. And if a few of you had just a little bit of fuzz in there to kind of see the next stare, there would at least be that step back where you step back, take a stare down, look up and say, see whether I agree with you or disagree with you. I also see what's going on around. I'm taking in the totality. I don't seem to get that. And I tell my shrink, why would I tell my stories online? Because it's the people watching me would be the same kind of people that I deal with in real life, who are just oblivious or wouldn't be able to process it. They would make connections to their own lives, which don't compare, and say, thanks. Now, apparently, several people have said, "Oh, he's just a fraud. I'm faking it." I'm thinking, yeah. And that's what's, it's one thing to say, I can actually accept the criticism of "fuck you, OC, you suck, you deserved it." I say, okay, fuck you. But to say, it's like, after, to put yourself out there and be called a liar, it's like, huh? Okay. But no, and some of you definitely are okay. And Horace, I've always liked you. I know there might have been tension with you and someone else, and something about your wife, and I don't know, but no, not all of you. But I thought I would get more. I guess maybe I should have just gone for video format. But there's also that social aspect, because in my real life I don't really socialize. I socialize with coworkers as coworkers, and it usually goes south. And then this is other than my brother and my shrink, it's you guys. So this is my socialization. And when people base what they see here on the internet as if it's like me 24/7, it's kind of like, are you people really this retarded? Why am I don't know, why am I even taking the time and effort to share these things if you don't want to believe and you want to jump on the whole, like I said, criticize, but the whole, like, that mob mentality. And to see it, I would be great if an outside observer said, wow, see, I don't really like you, you're a fucking piece of shit, but I agree with you. All these people here, it's like, what the fuck? They're only proving the point. I feel that a lot of your viewers have expressed understanding and openness to your stories and your perspective at many times. Because I said to my brother, I'm like, we know when a troll says something, I don't care. When others, the whole, oh, see, we all go through that. I'm like, no, I don't think I have to tell you the stories. Maybe that's part of it, but I don't think the whole thing that happened at that grocery store, that was just crazy, insane. Like, I wouldn't even believed it. And yeah, I'll start telling my stories, but I want to lay it out on go in my Spurg way, piece by piece. Maybe do some visuals, like, here's grocery store 1, here's grocery store 2. A little visual, and I'll tell my story. And maybe I'll just do a whole series of videos, and you can make of it what you will, criticize if you want. But it just seems like right now, I guess my criticism is you don't yet have enough information about who I am, what I've gone through, etc. And yet you're already making, because I experienced this in real life. You don't know enough. And I guess we're all reliant upon limited ability or limited knowledge of something to try to assess the situation. I understand that aspect. But it's like, before you cast stones, at least let me explain. Then feel free to judge. I think there's a premature groupthink of judging, which is precisely what I experience in the real world, in the workplace. And I'm looking at it like, it could be, I could say it's triggering. No, this is still online bullshit. But what I'm talking about is how, the saying about life imitates art, whatever. The internet just effectively is, the way people act on the internet is effectively how they act in the real world different, but it's still the same manifestation. Here, you don't have to play that game. Here, you don't actually have to go along with the group because, oh, they're going after that guy pretty harshly. But let me slink back with the group so they don't come after me. Yeah, he's like, at a job, you might play that game. But here, you actually have a chance to express your thoughts, your individuality, potentially. Like I said, I didn't sleep. I feel like a failure because I could have done shit today, but I felt like shit. But I said, I got to stay up. I got to force myself. And so I'm basically streaming. I call it sleep to dream stream, just because I'm trying to I should probably lay down. So forgive me if I'm babbling, but that's what I'm getting at. It's just give me some time before throwing stones, and then throw stones based on your own after you've digested. That's what I'm asking, not premature bandwagon groupthink bullshit that is effectively what I'm criticizing and condemning. You're only proving my point in a way. Now, where was I? I'm sorry. It's more like I said, half asleep, babbling stream. If I'm behind in chat, if you said something important, repeat. Group mentality, it's an anomaly. Okay, so that's JT. You want to use the people. You want to use these people online to dump your bullshit on so that you can justify to yourself why you're a lazy piece of shit. Yes. Trauma dump. And I guess there's that sadist masochist thing because you're here like a masochist enjoying the, pour your misery down. Pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery. Thank you, JT. I'll continue pouring my misery down on you. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not talking, this is Cassandra, I'm not talking about only last stream. I'm saying over the course of your streams, you've gotten support. No, yeah, I agree. Support and criticism are both fine. The phone is ringing. Someone calling me? That's odd. Now, that's weird. This is the old. I wonder if someone doxed me and wanted to give me a call. But that was weird because this phone, when it rings, it usually rings. The ringer set to 6 or 7 rings. It woke me up today, and it was a very loud ring, ring. That was a very weak, light ring, which is odd. Let's take a look. Who was that? It's interesting. Call lists. Missed calls. Show details. Glaxo. 9:45 a.m. So this wasn't the call. That was strange. It was almost like an alarm kind of. That didn't sound like when the phone rings. Like I said, it's kind of weird. The phone woke me up this morning, and I couldn't get to it. I'm there on the couch. The phone's not this phone. The other phone is across the room. Like, and it's ring, ring, ring. So had it been one ring, I could have just hello, bye, gone back to sleep. Because it was a persistent ring, blah, 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 all for a telemarketer. And that is strange. I'm not sure what just happened just now. So was that one of you? Impressive. If it was, do it again, because that was odd. Oh. But where were we? I'm not talking about only last stream. I'm saying over the course. Yeah, no, and listen, I'm not here for straighten out. I'm not here to be coddled. I'm not looking for a whoa with I don't mind criticism. Hey man, I think this or this is what I think of that. I'm just saying wait for the totality before you start making comparisons to your own personal experiences. Just give me that. And I thought the last couple streams, like I had to go on the defense in a sense. Not over, you can criticize, but it was the whole we all go through that, like the same general bullshit that you hear. That it is kind of blue pilled. We all feel ugly sometimes. Just put yourself out there, you'll get the girl. We know it doesn't work that way for everyone all the time. And it seemed like I was getting bombarded with blue pill nonsense from people. Like I'm thinking, that's more insulting than any troll. It was like you people. And even my brother was a little like, huh, And my intentions have never been malicious with anybody. Like even the people who find me annoying at work, my intentions were never malicious. And I think in some ways my silly is my way of trying to de-escalate when I pick up on tension, which I don't understand. I'm like, this person is, and I'm like, why are they, what's the, they have negative intentions towards me. And when I spoke to my shrink tonight, this was earlier. This was like I don't know. Because I've been up since then. This sometime this afternoon. What time was it? 4. I was a bit more awake. It was an interesting session, and we talked about hypothetically, if I shared my stories, would anyone want to listen? Would they believe? Even if they say you're a weirdo, even if they don't give me sympathy, would they at least believe, or they say this guy is totally making it up? And it's like, why take the time to share all that? Because that's what happened after the girl ran me over, tried to run me over. They didn't believe, half the people didn't believe that. It's basically like calling someone crazy when they're telling you not only something traumatic, but something that happened. So that was my gripe. I would say I'm like, why are we on the defense all of a sudden? It's like a group think, blue pill collective. What is this? Why, thank you, horse. As long as you believe, like I said, and you can disagree with me. As long as you understand, it's hard for me to even tell these stories. But whenever I'll share the video, like I said, I'll wait for my next session. Maybe I'll do some composite. I don't want to put 2 whole sessions together. That's a bit ridiculous, but maybe I'll do like a chop suey. I'll do like, half of one, the good bits or something like that. Because no, it was interesting talk we had just regarding, but I don't want this to become the shrink channel 100% of the time for various reasons. But maybe, because I was talking about hypothetically, if I were to share my stories, and he said, well, everyone watches YouTube. You might find people like you, or you might find, there are some intellectuals. I said, yeah, like I said, I don't care about the criticism, but I'm afraid I'm going to get like a group of people who just don't believe and want to make it clear to me they don't believe. That's the bullshit I went after. Right after the girl ran me over and I told the managers the way they just fucking dismissed it. So it's so why put myself through that again? But it was interesting to talk. And then I went to the whole strangulation story. Maybe I'll share that. So maybe I'll share that session. And that was weird. Whatever the fuck happened with the phone. I was talking about how the phone rang this morning, woke me up. I was like, I was drunk, drinking last night, and I was up in my room, getting used to my room again, listening to music again. My CDs for the longest time couldn't do it, so I didn't really sleep. I got a few hours of sleep. Thought I'd sleep, get up late morning, early afternoon. Phone woke me up, and I'm still fucked up because of it. But I'm pushing. But it was a very loud ring, ring, ring. That was a little weird. So who knows? Maybe the phone knows I'm talking about it. You never know. Watched person. Hey, doggo, what's up? By all means, I'm impressed. That was you. Impressed me again. Impressed me with but it's so. How did you get it to not do a full ring? And what's weird is like we still have the old. You can't see it from here. You've probably seen it in my grilling videos. Still got my parents' old, phone on the wall. That's actually, I think the main line, and it'll ring too. That's when the phone rings. It's not just this phone and the other. There are three of these and like 2 wall phones. So I've got this going ring, ring, ring. Other part says ring, 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 and I got the phone ring, ring. So it was like a whole like never-ending alarm going on for. I'm like, why is it set to 7 fucking rings? I'm like, oh. So, but just now that was interesting. So do it again. Go back, Jack. Do it again. Yeah, go ahead. That was interesting for sure. Whatever that was. Yes. Sure, I would. Give me a call. Ring, ring. You got me, JT, tonight. You got me singing more than anyone else. Ring, ring. Why don't you give me a call? I'm singing ABBA for you, man. You should be flattered here. Ring, ring. Yeah, and I was going to lay down, but I said, force myself. So I was going to do like a little hour stream effectively to kill time because I don't want to, there's so much to do, but I don't want to start half asleep. I'll fuck something up. I'll regret it, but I can't keep going through life like this. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to keep this phone by my side. If it does ring, I can shut the ringer off, but if it does ring, one ring wouldn't bother me. I can just say, hello. Yeah, fuck you. Bye. It was 7 continuous rings from 3 or 4 sources all around me. I'm like, that's another thing when you sleep on the fucking couch or on the floor. Sometimes I do the floor when I want to stretch out more, usually the couch. I'm not in a room with the door closed. I'm exposed to every fucking sound. So yes. My go-to drink is unsweetened iced tea. When I do drink soda, usually some kind of cola, occasionally root beer. I don't really care if it's Coke or Pepsi, any kind of cola or root beer usually. But I don't drink. When I was a kid, I used to drink soda all the time. I don't drink soda. I got a beer and iced tea now. So, but yeah, sometimes I like soda with nice pizza, soda with ice. Yeah, Pepsi, Coke, root beer. Horse, I'm glad I can help you fall asleep. I will help you. Lullaby, lullaby. Yeah. No, but that's what I was getting at. Like almost like, huh? Like I want to share my stories. It does take a lot to be honest like this. A few years back, a lot of it coincides. Like my shrink would say to me, "Well, you that lady at the store." I said, "Yeah, the lady at the store who thought I was following her around. Yeah, that was sort of a one-off. Usually, the people are people I don't know very well, but know of me. The lady at the store was just crazy, and I told him, I said, in the past, before I met you, I would have just said, okay, this lady's crazy. Maybe I'd apologize to her for something I didn't even do, or just walk away. And now I'm like, I've gotten to that point. It coincided with, I said, I'm ready to see a shrink. I'm ready to put myself out there. I'm ready to tell my stories. I'm ready to say, next time this happens, fuck it, get a phone out. But that was sort of a one-off. I'm talking more about the shit that happened at work, the whole social dynamic. So yes. I got both. Yes, this vape is a backup. Interesting. Well, you can lip sync. You can play me, but it'll be my when you talk. You get up there and say, "Try your best." I'm OC, and then when I start singing, you just lip sync, and it'll be my the soundtrack for me. Ah, shit. We might cut this short. Now I'm losing my broccoli. Damn. But I'm still some. I will crack one more beer. And I can't. It's not just the landlord. There's my brother. Yes, and JT, you are correct. I'm very lucky to have my brother. I can't keep using him as a cushion because he can't afford to continue to be a cushion. So, but I'm useless to him in the state. So, yeah, I don't. I'm not sure what the next step is. What I'm saying now is just give me till April. Is it April 9th? And let me see what they say. And hopefully they'll say, I'm hoping for a miracle for once in my life. It looks good. You're good to start weight bearing. And after I know it's not going to happen overnight, but I'll bounce back faster because the doctors might have been lying. I said back in December when I had the accident, I said, you think I'll be able to move furniture in the summertime? And they all said, yes, by then this should be healed and you should be walking again. You might have stiffness, you might be sore, but they claim that yes, within like 6 or 7 months time from December, they said yes. So the left foot feels great. I'm getting up the stairs more and more. The right foot, I still do not dare put weight on, but I'm a fraud. Yes, I'm wearing my brother ragged. Yes, all I do is cry. Well, you see me on the internet talking about me. I'm occupational click. With my brother in real life, yes, I've told him. I said, "Man, I'm totally useless to you right now. No money coming in, can't even move things around." He said, "Yeah," and I think his biggest gripe is do what you can. You're awake all day. Do what you start going through this paperwork. If you want to scan, if there's something important documents, we had a bunch of shit that our parents left behind. He said, start getting rid of this. And I said to him, yeah, maybe we should, because I think remember right before my accident, I got that storage facility, which we still have. I paid for 6 months. And so it'd be what, December, around the time hopefully I can be able to walk again. And I said, maybe we should start making trips and just bringing shit over there. Just start moving before we move. So yes, we got to take action, especially now the weather's getting a little more pleasant. I think we're done with snow. I think from what we're coming into April now. I think the snow's over. We're done. So my tales. Well, if you don't want to listen to my tales of woe, that's fine. Saying I'm making up my tales of woe or my tales of woe aren't real woe. We all have this kind of woe. No, I want to tell you. I'll tell you what happened. I got to go through I've been planning this for so long, but I put it off. But no, there was a change that happened around the same time I decided to see a shrink. It all came together, and I decided to do this. I decided to say, from now on, I'm going to be a little bit more different. I'm going to just, call these people out because the bad shit keeps happening regardless. But my brother, he's like, no, keep the job. And of course, there's minor things. This isn't as big a deal. But if I was suspended for being late, fine. I was late. You want to suspend me? And then like the next day you say, "Oh, guy's in the hospital. Can you work 7 days and all these hours?" Well, I'd want the hours and the money, but there is definitely that part of me. This is the part of me would say, "Mr. Manager, you fucking suspended me yesterday for being what a few minutes late a handful of times over the course of months, and now you're begging." It's like I would definitely say something. I would shoot my mouth off, which would piss the manager off, and you start telling people, "Fuck," he says. I probably would shoot my mouth at a manager, absolutely, for something like that, something that stupid. But to me, I would think of that. The manager suspended me, and this is me firing back at him. And if he wants to fire me, literally, it's between us. I never intellectually I should know, but the occupational clique, the Borg. Well, we want to get to this house. We can't afford this house. So, like I said, another reason I was like, should I stream? Because I was going to stop streaming until April 9th, until I know what's going on. Because you keep asking me, you guys, I like your Afterman. I hope you don't think I'm knocking you or anything, but the questions are getting too redundant. Unless that's part of the joke I'm not in on. I don't know. Well, autocorrect said, is that a correct spelling either way? Telewoe, WOE. Whoa would be HWHOA. Who? It's like who pronounce it. I don't think. Yeah, no. Yes. You're still hurt. The one thing my criticism of you, man, that video that Penny Pounder made. Penny Pounder is a troll, but I'll give credit where credit's due. It was funny, and my brother found it hilarious. We weren't laughing at you maliciously. We thought you'd be. We didn't realize how in denial you were. That's why I'm like, huh? Isn't this the guy who shows other? You've shown my stream. Don't you show people's streams and people's videos and kind of quasi mock them? I thought it was all in good fun. I guess I didn't understand being a Spurg. I thought, oh, that's funny. And I guess when the roles were reversed, it bothered you. I thought you'd be cool with it. I thought you knew who and what you were. Instead, I got, a barrage of, I don't know. You're the only one who wasn't, like me. I admit my brother's my cushion. I'm a fuck up and failure. I'm being honest about myself and called a liar about it. I didn't know you were sensitive about what you're in denial. Yeah, that's true. I was like, huh? I said, what the fuck's his fucking press off-grid guy? Click, be honest. You're happy to be in that chair, so you finally have an excuse to justify your shit. No, it's getting to a point now where the chair is getting really old. As my legs are starting to heal, it's like, why am I stuck in this fucking thing? No, I'm not happy in this chair. No. The only good that can come out of it, in theory, like I said, is some temporary disability and an extension. Because even if I wasn't in the accident, we have to get out of this house. The manager, I'm not the manager. You got me, guys. You got me. The landlord, with his original demands, let's take back the house here. This was sort of the excuse to say, hey, fuck you, back off. And now then I got the legal advice, and then I realized, okay. No, not about your mommy, about the fact that you're upset that I found that video funny. You're forever showing videos and laughing. That's fine. What you do doesn't offend me, but apparently it's like what you can give it out, but you can dish it out, but you can't take it yourself. I mean, that's what if someone comes up and says, I think he's my buddy. My buddy goes, hey man, your mom's a whore. I'd probably laugh and I'd say, yeah, so yours is a bigger whore. I think it was all in good fun. But if the guy, your mom's a whore, yeah. How dare you call my mom a whore? Well, you just called my mom a whore. I thought we were joking around here, man. It's okay for you to say it to me, but if you don't like it, if you feel bothered by it, then you shouldn't be saying. That's how I'm like, oh, what's this dude's problem? Yes. I could move out, but she doesn't want me to pay. No, there's nothing wrong with having the cushion. I'm not knocking the cushion. I'm just saying your denial about the cushion. You're I don't know. You really don't have to wage slave. You're very lucky. You might have a job, but you're not wage slaving. It's a shit job, but you're not. It's your pin money job. So good for you, but you're not, wage slaving. He's saying you're basically full of shit because you work part-time and pay no rent and live with your mom. You got me singing. Out of college, money spent, see no future, pay no rent. All the money's gone, nowhere to go. Do. Any jobber got the sack. Monday morning, turning back. Yellow lorry slow, nowhere to go. But oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. Whoa, that magic feeling, nowhere to go, nowhere to go. Ah, you got me singing tonight. No, all that's what I'm saying about what's his name, off grid. No, the whole. Why are you so upset that I found that video funny and I showed it? You were really upset. I'm like, your whole channel is based on showing people's videos and laughing at them. I didn't think you would take it as It was like almost like you think you're better than us. And no, I'm glad you have your cushion. Be grateful. Oh, he can tell me about exploiting my brother. What I would say is, JT, what I'm saying is, off grid is in no position to say, get a job, you bum. Anyone can do it. It's almost like a joke or a parody coming from him. Like it's not one to be giving that sort of advice. We got to rehash all this. It's like, oh my God. But it wasn't so much the trolls that bothered me. It was like what you think. One thing I do like about YouTube, other than when I'm driving by myself in the car, I don't usually sing songs. I don't walk around stores singing songs. I don't sing songs at work. I don't even think to do that or want to do that in public. So you see the side of me where I'm drunk and tired, and someone, I can just break out into song. This is, Grid. This is how you're gonna get at a mom's house. You're gonna write this musical about me. Gonna be a great soundtrack. It's probably one of the best soundtracks there. See Cassandra's List. It's a bit obsolete now. This is gonna be one of the best. You can do it. Why, thank you, Off Grid. You're talking to me, or it's not a joke or a parody. It's just like, yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. I am different. I think I spent my life knowing I was different, but trying to not be different for various reasons, for my own sake, for my parents' sake, because all the people around me tell me this is how it is, and then it doesn't work for me when I follow their formula. So I've always known I was different. There is something different. And that's why it wasn't even you or the trolls who bothered me. It was when people are saying, oh, we all go through that. All of us. Oh, I don't think you're all this different. And I wish I wasn't. It's not a blessing. This is a fucking disaster. My life is a fucking disaster. No one wishes for this. And it's like, that's why I said, not for the troll's sake. And Gritty, I don't care if you criticize me. You can criticize. I don't ban anyone. I don't want an echo chamber. I've never kicked anyone off. I've timed people out. It was just almost like that sort of groupthink Borg click mentality. You guys, well, you don't know enough, and you're jumping on a bandwagon that's like, oh, I've seen this groupthink before in action, working, not in my favor, and it's no one else really sees it. So that's why it's funny. You're right. Free JT and Penny. I will. They're free. They're free. But Doggo, for the life of two, you must give one. Who should I ban? If I free them, I gotta get rid of someone else. Is it you? Are you willing to sacrifice yourself for them? You want me to pick someone else to get rid of? Who dies, Doggo? You got to pick who dies. No, that's all I wanted to say. No, it was not just you. I was talking to the shrink. It wasn't just these fucking, this is bullshit. I was talking to the shrink. It was just like, not being believed after that shit, when that shit happened, and implying that, I'm crazy or I'm making it up. It's like, that was so, it added insult to injury. It was so demoralizing, so dehumanizing. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's hard to talk about a lot of these things. Like, maybe that's why I like showing the shrink sessions. I'm sharing who I am, but I'm not talking to you directly about it. You get to hear me talk to a third party, and the stories come out and I can elaborate. So maybe I'll do it that way in part. But well, you will be free. Doggo is going to give his life for you to be free. You and who was it, Penny? I'm sure you off grid. I'm not knocking the cushion, and I'm not saying you've never been on your own. We were talking about the prosperity thing. I don't think you've ever had prosperity on your own, and I think maybe you could eventually reach that. I don't think you've ever yet had prosperity on your own, and that was my criticism. Like, why are you telling me get a job, put yourself by? Anyone can do it. Like, maybe you could do it. You haven't even done it yet, so it's like that's why I felt like you weren't in a position to talk, but. It wasn't even that shit. It was just the whole you're upset I laughed at a video that parodied you. I mean, I thought you were cool with that shit. That's basically what your channel is. It's like, talk the talk, not walk the walk, or you can dish it out, but you can't take it back or handle it or not. No, and that's where I welcome criticism. I don't say I'm absolved from any responsibility. That's not true. I've never said that. And yes, I am a leech on my brother. You find I think you're still bothered by my criticisms of you that no, I've never tried to absolve myself of responsibility. Yeah, I disagree with what you're saying. You can elaborate more though. JT is my self-proclaimed spokesman, saying you're basically the same thing as he is, a lazy bum who. Wait, did I jump back or is he getting redundant now? Where are we? See, Gritty, there's nothing to handle, man. I thought we were buddies. At the end of the day, I thought we were still buddies, but maybe I was wrong. I'm a Spurg. I can't tell who my friends and enemies are. That's why I'm like, huh? I leech off the Washington State government by collecting a pay. And listen, man, I envy you too. If I could have what you have, I would take it. I'm not knocking your lifestyle. I'm not knocking Gritty's lifestyle. At least you're honest, horse. You do have a cush job. Congratulations. Understand we can't all be so lucky in life, and I think you get that. It's just so. But yeah, that's I admire your honesty, but I'm not knocking anyone's lifestyle. You're not really if you're here, you're not in a position to say, I'm not a loser like you. I make this money. Like, what the fuck? It's like, how'd you end up here? And Horse said, of course, you do well, but your story is a little different. But yeah. I forget about you. Are we still buddies though, Grid? I thought you were my buddy. So many great, Marty Stauffer and Free Palestine, and we've had some fun times, I thought. And this is sort of my like social outlet in a way, because like I said, my brother, the shrink, it's about it. I guess these doctors I see. But no, I said it is getting redundant because I gotta get to physical therapy time, which hopefully they'll approve in mid-April. And April starts with it's the 31st. After midnight. I'm slurring my words. I'm tired. Give me a call again. But it's like April's almost here. April. I should play that one on guitar. I don't know that one offhand. Some finger picking. April, come she will. When trees are filled. I forgot how the lyrics go. Good song though. I like that one. August, die she must. The autumn winds blow chilly and cold. September, I'll remember. A love once new has now grown old. That's all I need to hear. I'm so glad. Nah, it's just you can disagree with someone without, well, at least I think you can disagree with someone without it being some calamity, but I don't know. I can't read people too well. There's something else I want to, I definitely feel I'm healing up. That's good. This accident was just a total setback. I fucked everything up. Though it did in the moment, the extension. Like I said, it is a lived experience. Like I told you, like my father had a wheelchair after he had a stroke. My father, he still has it. I took all that time to move them in. I was able to serve them, but I can't seem to serve myself or my brother. But my parents are fucking assholes. But with them, like when my father first had a stroke, they gave him a wheelchair. He never liked the leg rests because what happened with him was his whole right side was paralyzed, but he could still kind of hobble. So instead of leg rests, he couldn't use his hands to turn the wheels. He would use his heels to just sort of propel himself around. I know what it's like to really be in and use a wheelchair now. It is lived experience. I saw my father in one, but it's not the same. Now I know, okay. And anyway, the shrink even said, "Oh, isn't it funny? Your father?" I said, "Yeah, my father's now. I'm in a wheelchair. It was fucking wonderful." I'm lucky. I am. I guess at the end of the day, I should look at the count the blessings that I won't be in this thing permanently, and I'll be able to walk again. I hope this shit never happens. I think when I get under stress and pressure and just everything builds up, I think I'm more accident prone. Not in the sense of, oh no, I'm depressed, let me cut myself. It's not intentional, but I guess I can't. My mind can't focus on all the hecticness at once. I really am fucked up, but oh well. Wait, off grid. See, this is what I'm getting at, man. The fact everyone wants to hate on me just shows I'm pissing everyone off from speaking truth. But in fairness, I wasn't hating on you. I think the problem was you got defensive and interpreted the fact that I found that funny. You found that as hating on you. I think, and maybe this is interesting insight. This is part of the reason why I stream. You guys yourself might not ever be able to see it, but I can look back and say, wow, I thought this dude Gritty was just my buddy, but I guess I really hurt his feelings there. But at the same time, why was he so upset? And what is this? Everyone's hating on me. No, I don't care about everyone. It's you and me here, Gritty. I was never hating on you. You might have interpreted it that way, but don't let me in with the click or the board because me. I wasn't planning to take calls. I'm half asleep here. Why would I let him on? Wasn't he the one who tried to show pornography one time? And I didn't know it was him, but I kicked the guy off. I'm like, that was weird. And JT pops on. Ha ha ha. He didn't realize I'd kicked him off. He thought he was displaying. So he's someone who wants to do that. That's malicious. Trying to get my channel taken down. What's that going to prove? The hostiles. Well, that's a fair question. Who's everyone? Whoever everyone is, don't let me with everyone. It's just Gritty. Come on. Whoa. Now, off grid, was there some residual? You're mad? Because that happens a lot too in life. Like I was telling you, I said in my last video, it's like, the one fucking boss man piece of shit. He was mad at the colored kids, but he couldn't, call them niggers. So I got like my whipping and whippings for them. Because if he says, you fucking niggers are lazy, he'll probably go to jail for some hate crime or definitely be fired. So he can't take his frustration out. So it's almost like I take on not only the unseen secondhand hatred, but I'm taking on like the frustrations people have for others. And I'm not one of the off-grid mommy people. So if you're upset with me, that's fine. You can talk to me, but don't take out the off-grid mommy crap. It's like, I'm sorry if you felt you were being persecuted by others, but now where I'm going to jump down. Dofuzi. Grid, I'll always be on your side. Love you, son. Yes, love you, son. I'm sure your life is great, JT. Keep hating. That's not, yeah, and I guess sometimes when you play the bad guy in these things, there's that whole whatever group of people you're upset with, one can't take on the group. So one can take on an outsider that he projects the group on too. But I'm like, and this might be harsh, but no, don't Gritty. Don't whatever if you have a problem with something I say, that's fine. Criticize me, but don't lump me in with these other people you're having problems with. I think that's what I was getting. I was getting a lot of residual with you. I was like, dude. But it's funny to see it here in real time because it helps me learn, this is what I got to deal with this bullshit. Now I wonder what job I can do. I got to say, let me go back to work. Okay. I don't know when I'm going to be cleared to go to work. What should I do? Am I going to tell me you can't lift X amount or you'll risk a fracture again? So, but I'm like unqualified, unskilled. I guess I have to work in some printing department or something. Oh, I'm not lying about you, man. I wasn't laughing maliciously at that video. It was kind of funny, but it wasn't malicious. I think you saw it as malicious. Maybe others did. Others were malicious, and you just dumped it on me, man. I'm like, dude, you show videos all the time and laugh about them. Everything's easy past now, but thank you, Morrissey. Ah, yes. That's what I'm getting at. It's just give me a little time. I'll tell my stories. Then cast your stones. As for what I wish, well, Doggo. See, I empathize with Doggo on a level. He's not in a wheelchair, but he's got all of his physical problems uh, involving his legs. So I can kind of know what it's like to be in his shoes. Maybe we'll talk about custom orthotics for our fucked up ankles. But and what was going on with him? If he's still here, he doesn't stream anymore. I don't think he had surgery on the one, but not the other. Doggo, are you all better? Are you better-ish? See, I can take an interest in others. I'm not some totally well. I'm not at. I don't deny being. Well, I guess a little self-centered. Well, this is my channel. I do depend heavily on my brother. I'm glad I have him. But I think it's amplified. It's like you guys amplify. It's like you get to at least digest a little more before we jump to conclusions. Right. I agree with that. Anyone can give advice is off grid. It just comes down to, is it rational? click admits. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say, see, here's what I'm saying. You can say I'm a piece of shit, but like I said, the punishments I get don't fit the crime. People out there are pieces of shit. People have been, do much worse than me, but they're the darlings. So it's not just a matter of being a piece of shit. It's how you're allowed to function in that social atmosphere. But yes, but in some ways I'm a piece of shit. I'm saying that, what's his name? I'm just basically saying that what Gritty is no different. We're just using denial. Well, as Grit himself says, yes, he's right. We're both. That's why I said Gritty. We can disagree with each other, but don't lump me in with mommy's crowd or whatever the fuck that is. No, as one piece of shit to another, man. We can have our disagreements, but don't take, because I'm there. I'm the easy target. I'm very easy going. You come on my stream, you're upset with them, so I got to get the backlash. Okay, but yeah, thanks, buddy. No, it's okay. It's okay. See, I thought you were more chill. You just laugh at that and say, fucking shit. I didn't realize you get so worked up, or others worked you up, but I don't know. Dude, it's like Gritty, from what you've seen of me, you think I'm part of any group collective? I mean, if you do, I'm just a fraud. I'm the instigator behind all of that. It's like, have you not gotten any essence of who and what I am? Sure thing, goes. You still make me laugh though. I don't know why. Is this dog pill supremacy? Is this Mr. Finland? Everyone shut the fuck up. I'm trying to eat Off Grid's ass right now. You prefer his ass over mine. Off Grid, how come they always like you? They always like you better. I guess you can be more prosperous than I am because you got the looks to help you. Looks help. You're going to go far. They want your ass, not mine. JT wants to be my new therapist. Well, okay, you can be my secondary therapist and give me free therapy here. Give me my therapy? How are you going to fix me? Well, actually, JT, what do you think of my current therapist? Think he's a good dude, bad dude? What do you think, Mr. Therapist number 2? That's right. This one's dead. I feel like rolling over. It's not a thing. I'm getting tired of being this fucking. I can't just get up and quickly plug this in. I gotta to roll over. There's a pain in the ass. Like I said, I can get around in a wheelchair much better now than when I first got the wheelchair. Than when I messed around with my father's wheelchair. When my father got his wheelchair after a stroke, I'd get in. I just sort of go around in the institution. But it was just like my brother when he had the one cane and he was just doing like a what did he call it? He called it cripple face, like the cripple face. He's not really crippled. He doesn't need that cane, but he was anytime he wants, he can stop and just walk away. And I cracked up laughing. Until you're actually in this fucking thing, it's my heart goes out to people in wheelchairs. Well, thank God. I don't know what it's like to be permanently one. I hope I never do, but I feel for them too now, even though I haven't experienced that and don't want to. Knock on wood. Yes, I see how unhandicapped friendly, handicapped unfriendly the world really is. It's one of those things I didn't even have to think about prior. You know what I mean? Until you're actually in this position, or you know someone who is, or someone tells you about it. I'll admit, I didn't know about. I never really thought much about. Wheelchair. Okay, there's a wheelchair ramp. The wheelchair guy can go up that. Okay, I never realized. Oh shit, the door's here. The wheelchair ramp is there. There's ice and snow and uneven pavement, and it's bitter cold out here. If the ride is half an hour late, can I get myself back into the building? Like it was definitely, I've learned something, a lived experience. And even if you guys never had this experience, you can at least listen to what I'm telling you. And I didn't think of that. I wouldn't have thought, because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's. I think that's the crux of what I'm getting at. Judge me, but at least understand what you're judging before you. And that's what I felt like. Huh? These people prejudging, prejudice, prejudge. But you think the Jewish guy believes that although you're socially inept, that doesn't make you incapable of working. Yes, I think that's what they all believe. Gatekeeping the SSI, and rightfully so. Well, I disagree with that part. He did say I should go back and find the one session where he did say, I don't think he did. He admitted, he goes, I gotta, maybe I should, I'll make that a short. There's one session that was kind of boring, but at one point he'd put up a blurb about autism, and it wasn't even professional. I joked, I said, think of the Bible. And he's looking at it, he's like, well, I don't think a lot of these apply to you because you can make eye contact. I'm like, dude, we're on camera here. He goes, but then, there is the social problems. Okay, I can't deny. It's like he doesn't want, I think he's at a point where he doesn't even want to get involved in any kind of bureaucratic paperwork. He just wants to collect his shekels. But he did admit, he goes, yeah, the social problems. I do think he believes my stories. I've been seeing him for, these years now. And it might get repetitive and redundant, but to start again with someone who I got to open the wound, tell these, which is what I'm going to do for you guys, open the wound and tell these stories. So you can, pour salt in my wound after I've reopened it, then feel free to pour salt. I won't ban anyone for criticism, but wait, don't pull the Band-Aid off prematurely. You got to do it at your own pace, man. People, by man, I mean all you people, starlings or whoever's watching, you got to give me, time. This is kind of like my supplemental therapy in a way, if you think about it. And supplemental socialism, supplemental socialization. I want socialism. Give me my knee bucks. Supplemental socialization, supplemental therapy, and just an excuse. I was saying it was the last stream or two stream, whatever the fuck it was. Like how you can do things online you can't do in real life, like just breaking out in a song when you feel like it. Going on for hours about what I want to talk about because hell, it's my channel. If you don't like it, you're free to leave. I mean, this isn't. It's not real life. But people carry over their real life tendencies here. When I'm saying you don't have to, you can be a bit more free, but I'm not seeing that freedom for most of you. But it does take a certain type to want to do this, to put themselves out there. And I don't know what it was. It's hard, but there was some need, some desire to do this. Most people probably wouldn't. That's all I can give you. I'm sorry, what were we saying here? Yes, you're using all these people as cheap therapy. The only problem is they don't agree. No, that's actually not the problem. You weren't paying attention. I'll be honest. Even though you're a troll, I'll answer this question for you and for anybody. I don't mind criticism. I've never banned it. You're still talking here. There are some people who say, JT, you're done. And you'd have been banned. You can come back with alts. But have I might have timed you out. All your trolling and all your bullshit. Do I ever say, how dare you say that? No, it's not criticism. It was premature judgment, pre-prejudice. I thought there was, and it wasn't even from you. You say what you always say. You're like a broken record. And it wasn't even really from Gritty, who I think was just upset with me over some misunderstanding. I hope, buddy. No, it was sort of like the people who come and go, and they don't really know enough, but they're all in this. I'm looking at them like, even my brother, and me, he goes, my brother, I'm glad he joins me. You people claim you like to see him. He's good moral support. This isn't his bag. He wouldn't be. He would have people say, "Why you get your own channel, Brosi?" I don't think he would ever do this. He says stuff to me. I'm always like, I wish you had said that on stream. That's great. But he says, You know, look, man, you're an asshole. You're a fuck up. You fucked me up here. This. But still, these people who think you're just faking all this stuff. No, it's like, yeah, who asked for this misery? So my brother said things. I'm like, we should record that because I wish you'd said that on stream, man. I think he gets a little. His nature is just kind of quiet, observing. I don't think it's just because I'm the big brother, little brother thing. I think he's like that at work too. You came all the way to work. We're suspending you. Oh, okay. And and it's good. I guess it works. He keeps the job. And the next day, we need you to work all these hours. And that's where I probably would say something like, wait a minute, you fucking, I wouldn't say it like that. See, I often use hyperbole here. Like when I say, I told the manager, you fucking asshole. I don't literally say that in real life, but I probably would say something like, gee, man, yesterday I had to go home for being late a bunch of times. Now you need me to work. Hey, what is it? Did you need me or not need me? I probably would have, stuck it to the manager who had the audacity to suspend me one day. Then it's like these shit jobs, they can't afford to play these games. I can understand if you're like, the manager or department head or some kind of key holder, you got to be there on time. That's what you agree to when you take that higher pay and that the guarantee of full time. But to tell some part-time wagey, we counted up your tardiness and you had, for like months, like we went back 6 months to find, what was it? 20 some odd times you punched in after 7 o'clock on the dot. So we're suspending it. It's so fucking petty and ridiculous. And these assholes can't afford it. It's like, well, if I were like dramatically late, I'm half an hour late every day, fine. But because you got all those other, it was my brother, you got all those other days where he was 5 minutes early. It's like sometimes 5 minutes early, it's like part-time wage slave job and you're suspending me. Now you want to work. You don't have they don't have the luxury. They don't seem to even have the help to play that game. Well, you can call this attention seeking. Well, aren't you kind of attention seeking? You keep wanting my attention with this bullshit you blather on about. Well, I think anyone who feels some drive for whatever reason to put themselves out there wants some kind of attention. That doesn't mean look at me. It means, well, here I'm saying this and let's see what happens. I'm casting that and see where it goes. I don't think most people would do this. Well, hold on. You're right. My brother is probably less confrontational. I, in the past, would back off. I'd probably go to the silly. Now it's pull out the fucking camera and record the fucking crazy bitch. Just because in response, the craziness is going to happen regardless. No, I used to be more meek or passive or more, not start something, but it still leads to shit. Plus, he's a manlet, so I really do think people see him as harmless. People see tall fags as intimidating or worthy of respect. They see an ugly weirdo spurg, calling them out for their bullshit. And I'm a fair game height. I think I piss them off more. It's not even whatever I'm saying. It's who I am. Who I am while saying it is what really they need that excuse. I believe that strongly, man. Just because you don't have that problem with your, all your prosperity, gritty. Really, you got to try. That's what I talk about. Empathy, not sympathy, not poor baby. Cognitive empathy. Okay, I don't know what it's like to be in a wheelchair. Now I do because I lived it. Now my brother knows what you get. Try to put yourself in someone else's shoes or sit in their rolly seat. Did I say click or grit? I'm tired, man. You know this. I've been honest. I've been up. I should have slept. The phone. Call me again. I only came on to kill time before I should probably lay down. I want to lay down. I'd like to. Well, I'll probably get woken up when my brother gets up because, like I said, I'm downstairs. I always hear him every morning. It's not his fault. I can't complain. It's just, when I don't have a bedroom with a door that's closed, when I'm sleeping with several rooms around me, all the phones ringing at once. It's now being in a wheelchair is getting very, very old. He can only afford to be confrontational because he doesn't have a job to hold. That's what his brother's for. No, I can't keep using my brother. And a lot of my confrontation now, like I told my shrink, my confrontation that you see, that I talk about now, is in response to the way I've been treated. And people say, well, you weren't confrontational before. Not as no. Prior to the past couple of years, I would, but you get to a point where it doesn't work and I'm being treated like shit. So fuck it. I'll be confrontational back. A lot of these people, I don't know, like trying to think of an example. I'll tell some more stories. Oh, now you're talking to Gritty. Preach at him about. I'm not sure where we're going or who called who what. Should I play some guitar, read a poem, and wind this down? Because I do. It's like, when you're so tired and a little drunk, you're overtired. You actually don't want to sleep. It gives you like a second wind of tiredness. I should probably be asleep, but I'll have another. I spent about an hour. I don't want to come on for about an hour and just. Come on for an hour, seek attention, preach, get preached to by Gritty, get a therapy lesson from JT. Now, I'd say the problem with someone like JT, and you can say he's a troll, and he is, but the problem with what he's doing here, and this isn't just about me. This isn't just about me or my experience or JT. When anyone comes in with a preconceived notion or preconceived idea, and I guess my shrink is kind of guilty of this too. When they have a preconceived notion and they're not willing to even contemplate, all they want to do is prove that what they believe must be the truth. They're not really trying to comprehend or get that cognitive empathy, which JT's already made up his mind clearly. My shrink, out of my shrink's made up any kind of mind. He doesn't want to give neat bucks. I think he just wants to collect shekels. He doesn't want to even try to expand his mind. I said, look, man, you're the seasoned pro exorcist. You're not some run-of-the-mill priest. You're the exorcist. You're the old wise man who's here. Like, and of course, I can say things like, oh, that faggot, that nigger, that fucking cunt. I can say these things to him and not have to worry. I can speak more freely. It's another thing. The way I speak to him and the way I speak here isn't that you can't go around speaking like this in real life most of the time. Are you old enough to drink, JT? How old are you? We don't even know. It's another thing because I'm not really a social person. I use this to socialize, and I say, let's get to know each other. And you're one of the ones who's afraid to. It's like I don't trust people who are that secretive. You're gonna be that secretive in a fucking dead end coffee house like this. It's like don't trust. Can't trust someone. You've got to give before you can take. Where was I? Okay. At this point, I'm just babbling and drinking a beer. Beer is good. I'm drinking my brother. I'm drinking him out of house and home. No, I gotta get back to the doctor. See, there's all such a hassle. I've created like a new thing of work. But I gotta get some kind of doctor's note to extend that. That's just why I want to try to sleep and get up earlier. My pattern's been all off, and when I got up today, because I've been up, but I didn't sleep. It's basically 2 days not really sleeping. I couldn't focus, and I know it's like a wasted day, but I don't want to fuck something up. I don't want to. See, that's another thing. We talk about real life here on this stupid stream. I can be drunk and slur and say, "Hi, how are you?" I don't want to be on the phone trying to like talk about monies and bills with auto insurance, the car insurance, and the what do you call it? The MetLife TDI, temporary disability. I don't know how this number. My policy number is 473. I don't want to be like this when it comes to the real shit. This isn't real shit. Even my shrink isn't real shit. It's just a social outlet. And what was the other thing? Social. Oh. None of these people even know each other, really. Well, it's showing. Just the willingness to. I'm this age. I'm from this place. This is my experience. I'm married and not married. Yeah, age, sex, location. You're just your basic stats. Not like not your address. What your line of work means. You work in retail. You work at a construction company. Not which company do you work for. Nothing that specific. But the fear to even, I can't say that I'm in Texas or wherever the fuck you are. It's like, it shows, well, to me, I can't trust. It shows distrust. Oh, yeah, him. I think he uploaded some video. I'll watch it later. He also left a comment. He finds what he thinks I'm a fraud. I found it funny. I said, elucidate, exultant one, or whatever I said. Yeah, he, and my brother and I had said with Todd's kind of like in hibernation. He's slowly coming out. He started leaving comments on my channel, and I said to my brother, he's working his way up to something. So I figured we'd get a video from him soon. But with him, it's a process, like a bear coming out of hibernation. So with all those, I appreciated his comments, his take on the shrink video. And he thinks I'm some kind of fraud. Again, jumping on a prejudged bandwagon. It's like, because even though I admire the man's philosophy, I'll criticize him if I feel like. Dumb once said to me, there was some stream. I think Todd was in the chat briefly. I forget what I was criticizing Todd for, but Dumb was like, "Oh, see, how could you say that to Todd? I thought we agreed he was God." And I'm like, well, yeah, I want to question my Lord and Savior, not just kiss his ass and wash his feet. I'm a different type of disciple. I always said Judas was probably innocent, but Judas asked questions. The other disciples said, I'm not religious, but I think there should be like a sympathy for Judas. Judas is just, Jesus, I think you're fucking great, man. I want to know about your timeline. I want to know how you did this. And Jesus like, oh, God. Everyone else here wipes my ass and gives me grapes or wine. This guy's asking these questions, so he becomes the bad guy in history. Someone's got to play that role. So I have sympathy for Judas. No, I still think Todd is a great philosopher, but I'll criticize him if need be. Right. Anyone could just lie, but this is why I don't trust you. The fact that you're even, why should I have to tell? Anyone could lie. It's possible that, Off-Grid is lying to us. He doesn't really live in Oregon, didn't really come from California. He's not really half Palestinian. Maybe those are all lies. Fine. But I believe him. He seems legit about that. He seems sincere about that. And it's good to have that sincerity. Like, I believe that Horsehead is 40 years old and lives in Washington State and has that cush job with the government and the wife and kid. I believe that, because then when people come, especially the Starlings, the recurring characters, they start talking about things in their lives, and it makes sense. So if you say, yes, I'm in Alabama at 27, and I got my wife, and then you can't remember your stupid made up story, it becomes very obvious that you're just playing games. If you want to participate, you want to be a regular Starling, you got to be more, I don't know, make yourself more trustworthy. But they could lie anyway. Sure. Maybe Dog is lying to speak, but at least if these people are liars, they're all very good, consistent liars. So good for them. I don't think you have it in you to be a consistent liar. Well, when it comes to some made up story. I think your mom, who pays for everything, and you have your pin money job, I think she had an affair with Marty Stauffer. I really do. It looks like Stouffer, but it was always pronounced Stauffer. My brother didn't even remember him. I remember as a little kid, my father would put on PBS, and Marty Stauffer would be out in the woods recording 2 deer, 2 bucks. I think your mom might have had an affair with not the guy who died in your bedroom, but Marty Stauffer. I look into that. They show some level of genuineness, wanting to actually participate, wanting to come. I come in peace, and here's some of my backstory. This isn't your what do you call it? Your stream, your channel. We're not asking for all the details. We're just asking for the basics. And the people who didn't have a problem providing that with me, with each other, what's I'm trying to say? It shows benevolence, goodwill. If you don't understand this basic concept, fine. It's fine. You don't have to tell me anything. But I wouldn't trust someone like you. As Cassandra says, why would you lie about some unimportant things if that's how you feel? And that is a good question. I'm not even trying to gang up on JT, even though he's a troll, but I will agree with this. I'm agreeing with this criticism here of what you're doing right now, JT. Why are you so opposed to it mattering? It does matter to me. I'm occupational click, occupational spurg. Al Borland, I guess the flannel. I guess I could see that. Hey, man, let's do it like a handyman nature show, man. Junk hauling. Then we'll rebuild that car, take the engine apart, we'll go out in the woods, See if we can find Bigfoot. Build rapport, yes. Trying to, I wouldn't say friends. I mean, unless you see this as friend. What I was saying is about how, like, even though the internet isn't real life and what happens here isn't as important as what happens in real life, people bring a lot of their real life habits, and it's like, well, be cognizant now that you can see it on the internet. Be cognizant of that sort of Borg mentality, because you can actually see it here. Step back, observe, but also show goodwill if you want to come in peace. Yeah, I guess that's a good analogy, Cassandra. Pen pals. Yeah, I'd say pen pals. That's a good way of putting it. And of course, uh, like I said, it's occupational click. So I'm not asking you to be as specific about your lives as I am about mine. It was just to show some benevolence. But if you don't want to, that's fine. Just stop asking me why does it matter? Well, because it does. I'm trying to answer. See, I still answer. That's the thing. Like I said, I don't mind criticism. I don't ban people for asking questions that I think are, I'm answering your damn question here. Well, again, it's not really making friends. I think you won't bother because you're scared for whatever reason. Maybe you're, I don't know. We can speculate. I won't speculate, but well, JT, I feel the same way, actually. I actually hate when people talk about the community. I'm talking about here in this chat with the recurring starlings that come around, of which you appear to be one. So I'm not talking about online friends in general or community. I'm not even talking about being buddies here. I'm talking about being honest. No, you starlings, the same faces popping up, flying in, get to know each other. Occupational spurg, friendship maker, not friendship, pen pal maker. Like when we say, oh, hey, doggo, how's the leg? Or I don't know, Cassandra, how's the Chinese teaching that Chinese kid? Just a little, little niceties. Well, that's what I said, JT. All your criticisms, I've never been one to ban or back off from something I don't, words I don't like. I guess I felt not even attacked, more surprised. Like when I felt like these people project can at least digest. Where was I going with that? But no, I don't usually ban people just over words I don't like. Oh, what else? That was my last beer. When this is done, I'm done. But I can go on a little longer. Hope I do get some sleep. I don't have another beer, watch TV, veg. I shouldn't. I'm overtired. But it's the fact this is my life right now. Well, it's been like a never-ending hell. I think it's worse and worse. And you can say some of it's my fault. I'll listen to your criticism. I don't think it's all my fault. I think we're all products of environment, genetics, where we are, our lot. All these things are part of that equation I always talk about. Different things factor in, different facets of. It's not one size fits all. That's why I felt people were getting a little too one size fits all-y, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Before you try to put your shoe on me, at least understand the foot you're putting it on. Yes, I think that was my gripe. Yes, Life of Hell Inc. And I can check. I don't think this is the real Dev Pike. I think this is. I don't know who this is. We've got a Dev Piker. Here, let me go. Let me go to YouTube proper. Go to channel. Oh, maybe this is him. I don't know. Could be. Looks like his channel. Could be. I was going to say, I was chatting with him briefly. Watch, I was typing with him on Discord just before my shrink. What time was that? It was earlier this evening. Well, I've been awake since then. I'm still. This is an overtired sleep. Gotta go to sleep stream. Yeah, I had mentioned it was a little too much. It's, we were talking like a little too much like one size fits all the Borg mentality. And I told you to see my shrink. I'll do something with that video maybe. We'll see. I'll see how the next session goes. How I feel. I didn't. I saw you uploaded, my brother. I said I think it's something to do with Tiger Woods. I didn't watch it yet. I'll watch it in a bit. I'll watch it on the tablet as I doze off, or I'll watch it tomorrow. Was there any? See, I think with someone like Todd, like I said, I'll criticize him, but I still think his philosophy is brilliant. Criticism. People have said you want Todd to repeat the same shit over and over, and the answer is no. It's some of the gems that he did provide are now lost. I think about his Neat Bucks video, his reaction video, his the time he told the story of being in the psych ward. It was so. I want to do something like that with my crazy fucked up story. Go through it, and with his time in the psych ward, these gems, these like jewels he gave us, are lost. So it's not about him repeating the same. Oh, it's over, boy. Not that. It's just we lost a lot of. There was some great content that was lost, and I guess there are archives and whatnot, but. I guess we're hoping for an occasional gem from Todd, which I think he's still quite capable of. Like I said, he's like a bear. We noticed he was commenting. I think he changed his name back to Grotesque Subhuman. He was like a bear coming out of, with him, it's a bear coming out of hibernation. He'll probably slink back again. He seems to have this ebb and flow. So yeah, I said to I think he's getting ready. It'll probably take a few weeks. And sure enough, yeah. It's you. You changed the picture because you don't want to clown Matt after. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Your picture was some sort of. It was DBF's face in like the Tron movie or something. See, I like when I would see that all that orange and shit. I wasn't thinking about DBF. I was like, oh, there's Dev Pike. That was your picture, right? Sandra, it's true that you hang around this guy because you have daddy issues. Reminds you of your uncle. Well, Cassandra can speak for herself. I postulated probably do remind her of some uncle figure. I don't know if she's daddy issues or not. You can ask Cassandra herself. Well, yeah, I think he went by. See, I don't know. Before he was Grotesque Subhuman, did he have another name? I know he was Grotesque Subhuman, and then he became Todd Thundercock, which was probably because there used to be some of those bodybuilding forums. There was a Chad Thundercock the Third, so I think it was a play on that. So he's probably best known as Todd Thundercock. We still just call him Todd. We only were talking about, but yeah. But no, I didn't see the video. I'll watch it in a bit. JT just breaking out these Cassandra digs because you called JT a nuisance. Okay. Well, JT is a bit of a nuisance. He doesn't seem to want to participate. Doesn't seem to want, at least in good faith, say, oh, yeah, I'm this age, I'm from here. Just the basic stats. And I don't force everyone who comes here to give stats. It's the Starlings who want to be here. We've seen JT quite a bit. Anyway, Danny, have you slept? Because that was hours ago. I was telling I haven't. I'm probably going to sleep. You're waking up. I'm going to sleep. But I don't think. Oh, you sprung ahead now, right? So it's 8:30 in the morning or 8:30. Okay, so you're probably waking up, starting a new day. I want to sleep and get up and actually not be, like I said, not be all drunk and tired on the phone with the counts with the insurance companies and the temporary disability insurance, all that. and you can talk amongst yourselves. And I'll slowly sip and finish off my beer, and then I'll try to get some sleep. I get overtired. Wasted existence. Can't bring myself to do. No, I am. I admit in very way. It's like I'm a burden. I really am a burden. But it's not as. It's not. It's not just I'm choosing to be burdened. Ha ha ha. That's an overly simplified explanation. And that's why I say like this sort of like one size fits all, prejudging. We don't know enough about you and your backstory. That's another part. I think the reason I ask people's backstories is to try to get an idea of who they are and where they're coming from before they themselves start. I respect judgments of people when I at least know a little about them. Oh, I'll probably end in a minute. As long, actually went longer. I thought he'd like an hour, but it's an hour and a half. Great. Anyone want to say anything of importance? Because and I know repetition is par for the course. I've gone for about an hour and a half. No, this started. I'm streaming basically because it was kind of eerie. I'll repeat the story one more time. What the hell? For the newcomers in other time zones here. Last night, because I'm healing a bit. I'm getting more up and down the stairs. I was in my room, hadn't been in my room for a long time. Was playing some computers, messing around my computer, getting reacquainted with my room, listening to some music. I said I go to sleep now, but I said I don't want to sleep in my room because everything's set up down here. So I'm gonna get back downstairs. I got back, hobbled back down the stairs, laid down, dozed. A couple hours later, my brother went to work. No big deal. I went back to sleep. And then all of a sudden, I guess it must have been a telemarketer. Sometime all the phones rang, and I couldn't. I was on the couch. I couldn't get to the phone. It's ringing. It's like and you're not in a bedroom with the door closed. Every fucking phone rings. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, oh shit. So that kind of fun. I couldn't get back to sleep, but I was too like out of it to do anything. I've just been a continual out of it. And I don't know. Maybe if I didn't have to see my shrink, I would have just gone back to sleep for a bit or tried to nap in the afternoon. But and I just been in a funk. So I'm an overtired funk. And then like reality sets in. Oh shit, we got to pay rent again. It's the end of the month. Oh shit, I'm. You think I don't care that I'm like I don't know how to be a better brother in a way. I'm a total fuck up failure. But no, I'm not happy about this or indifferent to this. Where was I going to? Oh yeah, and tonight when I first started streaming, I was on the phone. This phone rang. They didn't all ring, just this phone, or maybe one or two. And it was a very light ring. It wasn't a heavy ring. So if someone out there did that, kudos, do it again. That was awesome. Make the phone ring. I'm talking about the phone woke me up. All the phones are ringing. I got all the phones around me ringing. At the original, corded phone on the wall. I got one of these, one in there. It's like an alarm. It's like a picture an alarm clock going off, beep, 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 and you can't find the snooze button. That's what it was, and it really fucked me up all day. And then when I was telling that story, this phone lightly ring. When I looked, it doesn't show any recent calls at this hour, so it's strange. So if someone out there has those hacking skills, that's actually kind of cool. Do it again. It's fun. Let me see here. That's not going to menu. Menu. Call list. Missed calls. Last missed call was we're on my time here. Was sometime 9:45 a.m. That's probably the call that woke me up prematurely. There's no other calls listed, but the phone, you heard me. I didn't make it up. The phone rang. You can say I'm faking it. I have a little beeper and I pushed a button and the phone went ring. But I wasn't expecting this phone to fucking ring. That was weird. Maybe received calls. The last received call was at 6:20 p.m. on March 24th. So no, there's nothing. The phone rang for some reason. I don't think it's a smartphone. I don't think the fact that I set alarm a couple times set off some alarm, but hey, who knows? Weird, eerie shit. Story of my fucking life. Well, the phone is definitely, you understand. The phone is rung before on every now and then you get a telemarketer or some shit like that. And it's very loud. Ring, ring, ring. It was loud this morning. I'm going to go back and watch before I go to bed. I'll rewind. At some point, I was telling my story, and the phone, not all the phones, if someone was calling the house, all the phones would ring loudly. Like this phone started ringing, but very faintly. It was weird, and there was no number. It was strange. And I said, kudos. If someone did that, do it again. That was fascinating. I'm impressed. It's a relic. My parents first started renting this house. The old cable, what we call cable, they bundled in. Everything's bundled now. There used to be an independent phone company. I got the phone, the internet, and the television all bundled in one package. And I'm going to say, it's an old package we're grandfathered in. You couldn't get this package today. So it's actually cheaper for now to keep the landline. When we move out, we'll just cancel this cable subscription. So for now we have it. No, I don't really use it, although it's weird. I did get a call several days ago from the temporary disability life insurance. And I'm like, this is so fucking strange. I didn't give her the landline number. I gave them my cell phone. I never wrote my landline on any forms that I know of. I don't think, unless the state of New Jersey, when they bounced it to the insurance company, I don't know, or they looked me up. I don't know why they were calling my landline. So every now and then it does happen. The landline will call, and it's usually, it could be like, a doctor or like some insurance or something legitimate calling. For some reason, they got my landline instead of calling my cell phone. So yes, for now, I'm going to keep, once we leave this house, we're going to cancel this cable subscription, which will also kill the phone and the internet and start again somewhere else. But for now, it's actually cheapest just to keep the original plan. And the phones are just sort of relics. I hope I answered the question. I guess I did. We went from, I was talking about earlier, we're talking about like, don't prejudge, digest and criticize. Off Grid was still upset. I think we're still bros. JT, I don't mind answering your questions. Like I'll answer like a dozen of yours. You won't even answer one of mine. I see it as problematic. Like for someone who doesn't want to be part of a community, you sure seem interested in asking questions. So I'll ask questions back. I'm a fucking Spurg. I had heard that once. I don't know if this is true, but that's something I should talk about before you. I read somewhere online. I don't know if this is Reddit or one of these Spurg places. Somebody postulated their theory that neurotypicals, which most of you are neurotypical, that doesn't mean we're all normie. It's not normie versus Spurg. You can have other issues. But neurotypicals and getting along with each other, neurotypicals share information to form bonds, or they talk to form emotional connections. Spurgs talk to share information, to get and give and receive information. So it's and I guess maybe our attempts at socialization also come across as prodding, but it was an interesting theory. I'm kind of getting it wrong now because I'm tired, but it was something to that effect of, because I remember thinking, I usually talk to people, hey, I get along with you. You're a nice guy. Hey, but it's usually, share information. And apparently, according to this one Spurg online, we Spurgs are guilty of that. But apparently most normies or neurotypicals, when they're talking about things, or the information is secondary, which kind of makes sense in how normies don't seem to communicate basic things. Well, I'm not going to go into a whole thing about this right now, but it's interesting theory. I like the theory. Well, like I said, I might have, this accident has thrown a fucking wrench in things. What job can I get? But at the same time, I can't sit around months and months waiting for some kind of approval. I got to make everything, like I said, is still predicated on, I think it's April. It's on the calendar. That day in April, I go back to the ortho clinic, and then they can tell me, yes, you're cleared. Hopefully they say that for full weight bearing. And then I can gauge my progress. I really can't make any life decisions until I know I might start physical therapy and it might be a total nightmare, or it might actually go smoothly. I don't know yet. So it's hard to even, like everything else, is in fucking limbo. But there was a website called Wrong Planet. And I used to lurk there when I was, like I said, this is almost 20 years ago, probably. I was like in my mid 20s and I typed in, might have been 20, it might have been 20 years ago. I typed in no friends, no girlfriend, never had a girlfriend, never, can't hold a job. No one seems to like me. What's wrong with me? And that's when stuff popped up about Asperger's, which I'd never heard of. And Wrong Planet was a big site at that time. And I'd read some people's stories and I'd say, holy shit, some of these are, I'm not talking about the crazy things that have happened to me, but just in general, like the general, I'm like, huh, I can relate to a lot of this shit. And that's when I learned about Asperger's. And I knew about it, but I thought, oh, they only diagnose children. I'll never be confirmed or denied. But so much of it resonated with me. But apparently, I guess Wrong Planet doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. It went down. It's been hacked or some shit. I couldn't. I was looking. Wrong. I used to lurk there. It's long past its heyday. But that was one of the big sites that used to come up 20 years ago that introduced me to what Asperger's is. Yeah, the site itself, I'm not ranting and raving. I'm talking about 20 years ago. That was one of the places where you get the biggest collection of life stories and theories. And a lot of it was, a lot of people were fairly like, I always knew I was different. Someone asked me earlier about me being different. A lot of people said that I always knew. I didn't know why. I still don't get it. I understand how I could relate to their lived experiences. Yes, that's what I'll say. Well, I was talking about the website. The idea that you feel like you were born on the wrong planet. It's almost like, why is everyone around me so alien? How do I not fit in? How is all this weird shit? Almost there. Almost. Unless we're winding down now. I don't feel like strumming guitar. I'm too tired. Poem? Probably not. What am I drinking? Beer? I think this is a Budweiser. It's either a Bud or a Bush, whatever. You rewind back. What did I just pour? One of these. Yes, I am an alcoholic. I don't deny that. And then, like I was talking to my shrink about the snowball. You're a weirdo, so you have weird experiences that add to it, and it snowballs and spirals. I think this one's starting to die, which is a shame, but I should lay down. I should lay down and just try to nap. I'm glad I came on, I guess. I'm glad I want something to do. It's like something with streaming, like I said. This isn't, you don't have to be on your A game. You can have a fucking drunken stream, and this doesn't matter. I don't want to do this when it comes to monies. What are your vape flavors? Frozen watermelon. And this one is called Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb. And this is a frozen watermelon. Jasmine asks, how's everyone's night going? Do not ask JT. Don't ask JT that. Don't ask JT. It might not be night for everybody. How is your current existence? And there is, I guess you might not see it on camera. There is always this like anxiety that doesn't go away. And I think the alcohol and the vaping is probably some form of bad self-medication for sure. Oh, the tree branch outside. I guess the wind. I heard. I don't know. Expecting a phone call. All right. I'll probably just end it here. Thank you for joining because I'm getting tired. I should probably roll away. But well, for a few more sips of beer. I'm not gonna have another beer after this. I don't think. I'm gonna head to the couch, take a nap. Someone asked me, was it you, DBF, or was it not even JT? Someone asked how I sleep. Well, I probably could hobble up the stairs and get in my bed, but I want to do that because everything's set up down here. If I need to take a piss, if I need to get something to drink or go to the kitchen's right there, I don't want to go up and down stairs. So I don't want to sleep upstairs yet. I sleep either on the couch, but occasionally I will get. I've got on the floor. I got some pillows and some mats and some what we call comforters, eider downs, and I'll just sort of like get onto that. It's comfy because I can stretch. I can fully stretch. Like it's actually not so much now, but back when I was in those casts, it was kind of hard to sleep on the couch because you had these heavy like lead, and my legs would start to fall on the floor. So sometimes it was easier just to get onto the floor, stretch the legs out. There's no gravity to pull them down; they're just on the floor. So I got used to having both a couch and a floor, depending on the mood I was in. The heavy weight on my legs, necessitated floor sleeping. But either way, I sleep in the living room. I'd love to, man, but you're waking up. I gotta go to sleep, man. I'd love to. I gotta just readjust my pattern. Well, we should. Today's session was had some interesting things. Maybe, like I said, I don't want to make this all a shrink session, but maybe I'll upload it, or I'll wait till the next session, see how they both go, if they kind of tie in together. But I want to tell my stories, make the videos. I keep saying this, just do it, and I'll put them up, and you can judge all you want. Okay. Like right now, on a side note, I won't bother rolling out and showing you. I probably should be wearing those boots I got. I probably should, but it's so comfy not to. The right foot is still sore, but it's definitely, compared to like, I don't keep a journal, but it's definitely more flexible now than it was even a few days ago. I guess the body knows they have a time frame. I kind of feel like they cleared the left foot maybe a week or two too early, but now it's fine now because it feels better now than when they cleared it. The right foot, I'm hoping, will be a candidate for clearance because I can't keep being tied down to this limited mobility. Likewise, I can see mine. Well, I got that the light is shining down, so you see the geisha look, but well, that's what I was saying earlier. I think I was about missing milestones and not being believed. You can criticize, but it's almost like I went through all the hell of like, oh god, to reopen wounds, just be told, oh, you're a liar, it's all made up, or you it's like to go through that doesn't seem fully worth it, but maybe it is. Well, it's a lived experience, isn't it? Like I was talking about the wheelchair. When my father had his stroke, he got the wheelchair, and I dicked around in it, but it wasn't the same as actually being in one. And now, even if you're never in a wheelchair, you can at least listen to my story and know what it's like. How I never cared. It's a lived experience. Before being in a wheelchair, I'd see a wheelchair ramp and say, okay, it's a wheelchair ramp, doesn't affect me. Now I know, like I said, like you saw that video. Oh my god, the ramp is down there, but the front door's here, and there's ice and snow, and if I go back in the building, I'm starting to freeze because the van's late. I didn't realize all the hassles. Like, it's a hassle being in a wheelchair. You don't realize the extent of these hassles. But yes, it puts you in a position to. That's what I was getting at, Def Pike, when it was just a one size fits all sort of normie bullshit. I'm like, here are the stories. Make up your own fucking minds. But wait. I'm not even talking about the trolls. I was talking about it's like a group of starlings who flutter in and flutter out, being like, "Oh, we all have these problems. It's universal. Just take another shower, bro." I'm like, fuck you, people. Like you're not even aware of the words coming out of your mouth. But with the internet, you can always go back to the stream rewind and see how you come across. But I'm like, are these people that oblivious? At least that's how it seemed to me. No, the main thing I think the reason I came on is because I might share the shrink video, I might not, but right. Oh, I thought you left. We gotta do some crazy extravaganza thing, and you'll be like, All right, OC, I jacked up your wheelchair. Get in. I'll be like, I don't think so, Grid. You know, because I'm Al from Home Improvement. Al Borland. What was his name? It'll come to me. He hosted Family Feud afterwards. Now I see him selling like special rubber hoses that shrink and what the hell is his name? Whatever. Well, you missed the best part. We were talking about you, laughing at you, saying all kinds of horrible things about you. As the president of the Mommies Hate Grid Club, I rallied up the troops. You missed it all, man. So you didn't catch me. Now you would do the grunt. I would say, I don't think so, Grid. You got me grunting, man. Congratulations. Lewis. All right. Well, I think I'm going to lay down now. Final thoughts, or should we say goodnight? Thank you, whoever was here, for, I don't know, give me something to do for an hour and 45. Jeez, went longer than I thought. The more drunk and tired you are, the easier it is just continue being. You get progressively more drunk and tired, but instead of saying, I got to sleep right now, it's one of Good night. No, wait, on a side note, let's stop a minute. Real quick. I'm not going to look it up. I'm actually trying to test my aging, fucking middle-aged COVID brain fog memory here. You're thinking of what's the guy who died? Louis Anderson. Louis Anderson did host it, but no, not him, not Louis Anderson. The other guy, the guy who played Al, he's still alive. The dude who played Al in Home Improvement, he also hosted Family Feud for a while. I think was he after Louis Anderson, but before what's his name? The Negro who does it now, Steve Harvey. At one point, it was forget his name. Who cares? Carnes or Carney or something like that. All right. Well, I don't know. You can look up later. I'll think about it, test my memory, and we'll go from there. So for now, have a good night or wherever you are. Occupational Click saying have fun.